Hi guys, Shelly here with the Gray Wren Nest. I promised I'd be back in a couple weeks to show you my beautiful garden. It's early June here in Ohio, Zone 6B, and I can't wait to show you. Boy, have a lot of things changed in just 2 weeks. What's that? Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Did you catch that? A neighbor walking by saying how beautiful the flowers are. Now let me share with all of you. And here they are. These are Proven Winners Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, if you have been following my videos, you will know that I planted these in garden socks around the beginning of May. Or I should say my family did. They came and rescued me when I had my accident. And that video is up, so I hope you hop on over there. Garden Socks sponsored that other video, and I'm just making sure that they get a little bit in this video as well. This video is not sponsored by them, but I sure do want to share the growing season along with you as these beautiful Supertunias, these Mini Vista Supertunias, grow in these garden socks. It's just amazing. They are so healthy and gorgeous. Look at the multi-colors on here as they age. I think that's what I like best about them. But let's go along. And for those of you new to this video, why garden socks? Well, take a look at all of those rocks. Last year I tried to plant in those rocks and swore I would never do it again. And I found garden socks, and it has been an answer to my prayer. Pretty soon these petunias will grow up and over these garden socks and you won't see them. And look, look, look. Ugh. I just love this house. We have little hotties. These are hydrangeas that are going to be in bloom pretty soon, and look what I just noticed. Let's see, where did I find that? Ta-da! It's not gonna be long. I noticed this just 2 days ago, and they are just starting to bud out, and I cannot wait to share the gorgeousness of these hydrangeas. Yeah, so earlier I mentioned that I had a couple ladies say how beautiful my purple flowers were. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Bobby Joe, and
I'm Robin.
Hi, Bobby Joe and Robin. And what caught your eye about these?
oh my goodness, purple's my favorite color, and these are just gorgeous all around here. And I had asked as soon as I got out of the car, I just said, I just love those purple flowers. And then we went to a sale next door, and I had to know what the name of them were.
Oh,
Because
awesome.
I would love to plant these at my house. And then she was telling us about the little black things they're planted in. Had never heard of those.
Yep, those are garden
Just
socks.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
And these flowers are mini
They're Mini Vista Indigos.
Mini Vista Indigos. Well, they're gorgeous.
And they're in white pots, and it's got a PW on it for Proven Winners.
okay.
I know there are a lot of different petunias out there, but Proven Winners, Supertunias, you can't beat them. Never have to deadhead. I fertilize them once a week and make sure they have water every day, and that's what they look like.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Just
Absolutely
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Stunning. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Caught my eye as soon as we came around the corner.
well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
talking to us. Thank
Look
you.
at these roses. Oh my goodness. And they are so healthy and gorgeous. You can't beat that color. Oh. As they bloom, they're a very deep peach. Here's a nice peach, and then they turn to more of a pink, and then they lose their color and eventually fall off. I sometimes don't wait until they fall off, and I'll come in and deadhead them back. sometimes for size control. And every once in a while, I'll give it a good haircut after most of these bloom, and I'll cut them down halfway, and then I'll get another big full bloom like this. Probably last year I did it so that it had a big full bloom like mid-July after all of these dissipated, and wow, it was amazing. And I cut them down to the base of the window last year. So you'll see the base right there. So it was a good half the size. And the videos from last year show them growing up just like this again. And then by the end of the season, they were halfway up to the window of the bay window there. Halfway up. So they are just monster growers, gorgeous flowers. And this variety is a knockout rose. Now when it comes to the different variety of roses, I can honestly say that they need a little more care than the proven winner roses. I noticed that the bugs like to munch on these a little bit more, and I have to be more diligent about spraying my roses. At least these knockout roses, so that the bugs don't eat them up. I use Bare Bio Advanced sprays, and I know that some of you would probably be against that, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do in order to keep your rose bushes nice and healthy. And I think this is a testament to nice and healthy. And I use the BioGuard or Bio Advanced spray either in the early morning or the late evening, so that I don't interrupt so I'm not hurting the bees and all the pollinators. Just those pesky insects. Ugh. Oh, be still my heart. They are gorgeous. These are my Hoopla Vivid Orchid Supertunias. And they're struggling a little bit, and I think the reason they are struggling is the fact that we have not had a lot of sun lately. We are in a funk here in Ohio with cool weather. I mean, today I'm in a sweatshirt and it's going into the second week of June, which is uncalled for. Last year we had heat in the upper 80s going into the 90s at this time of year. And right now we're lucky to be in the 60s and 70s. So they're struggling a little bit, but I'm sure once it heats up and the sun comes out, these are going to be just as stunning. So I can't wait to share those along the way as well. Here's the view at the top of my hill. And look at these gorgeous chartreuse bushes. These are false cypress bushes. And just behind them, I have the proven winners, hydrangeas. These are limelight primes, and wow, are they healthy. Take a look at, let's see if we can find any buds on this one. So I'm not seeing any buds on this one yet. Here's my oh so easy Italian ice roses. Woo! They're gorgeous. Let's take a closer look. My. Oh, wow. They are gorgeous. So they start off with a multicolored bud of a yellow, a peach, and even like a hint of red. I don't know if you could see that. And then they bloom into more of a yellow. And then they'll bloom out light. Some of them are a little more white as they age. Some of them are a little more pink. But just the multicolors, you can't beat it. Here's some more multicolors. Oh so easy Italian ice. Woo! And here's the view from the bottom of my stairs. And then take a look at this. Along the edge of the rock bed on the hill that I said we had, my daylilies are just getting ready to bloom. Usually they're bloomed out by now, but like I said, the weather has been so cool. It's been unreal. All along the hill. And then growing in between the rocks, I have Atlanta sedum. And that leads us to the north side of the house along the back. I know it's always so hard with the way the sun hits this side of the house this time of day to get a good view of the back. I know I have a hard time looking through the camera. I hope it's picking it up. I have 4 hydrangea standards along the back. And they are so healthy. I overwintered these for the first time last winter, and they are doing great. This one reminds me of Limelight when it buds. It's the Menards version, and I know I have a bloom here somewhere. Okay, so I don't see the bloom on this one yet, but I know I've got one that I'll share with you in a minute. These are Hoopla Vivid Orchid Supertunias. Still, they're doing okay. We don't have the proper weather yet. It's still so cool. So they're just taking their sweet old time, but they're a lot further along when we first planted them. And I have hopes. I think they will do just fine. They're nice and healthy. I'm just waiting for that big burst of wow. Hoopla Vivid Orchid. This is the hydrangea tree that is the Menards version, but it reminds me of Pinky Winky. And it is the one that does droop over time because the buds get so big and heavy. And I put a grid system in it, and we're hoping that that grid system helps. Can you see it there? Throughout my videos, I've showed you how I started the grid system, and I'm watching it grow. It's getting to the point where you can't see it very well anymore, but there it is. Now here's the interesting piece. Look how tall these stems are, and that doesn't even include the bloom. So I'm not so sure I got my grid system high enough. I might have to make it even higher next year just to support the stems. They have surpassed my original thought of growing, but I guess that's a good thing, right? So continue to watch over the season and see how these hold up, and we'll see if the grid system works. But how gorgeous is this? No buds on this one yet either. This is the one that has the nest. Can you see the nest in there? Mama bird's in there. She's not as flighty as she used to be. She might be with my camera out, but I think she knows that I won't hurt her and I won't bother her. So she lets me get close and take pictures, but this is about the closest I can get before she flies out. But there are 3 robin eggs in there. Can you see it? And this is the Limelight version, the Menards version that reminds me of Limelight. It gets some morning sun and evening sun, so it is a little bit bigger. And look, I'm gonna show you. Ta-da! Do you see the bud starting? I see it. I can't wait. So this is my borrowed view. This is actually my backyard. But look at this gorgeousness. Woo-wee. That's my borrowed view. And then this is my balcony area, the hill, and the ferns that are struggling. You can kind of see them up there. Nothing really to write home about right now because the weather's been too cool. They're still small and even have some brown areas on them. But it won't be long and this will be just some hydrangea heaven gorgeousness. This is the east side of my house. Lots of morning sun. Look at this color combination. Oh, I love it. False cypress shrubs. Look at that beautiful pink in front. Pink dianthus. Behind the shrubs, mimicking the other side, I have my Hoopla vivid orchid going up the steps there. They're not really steps, they're concrete slabs that go up the side of the hill. And doing fabulously, and also with buds, my Bobos and little Quickfires. I have 3 Bobos, 2 Quickfires, and let's take a look. This is my Bobo leaf, and look, look, look! Some of you are probably thinking I'm crazy, but this just is so exciting for me. And my little Quickfires are going to town. Give them 2 more weeks and they're really going to be shooting out there. Look at this. Oh, it is so exciting. And here's from the opposite view. And my Carl Forester grass is not disappointing whatsoever. And look at these plumes. Pretty soon they will be a, gosh, almost like a pinkish maroonish color. Oh, they get so pretty. And then they turn more to a rust color and then to a brown as the season goes on. But look at those. I love how they sway in the sun. Isn't that pretty? Now, do you remember me sharing this pot a couple weeks ago and how sparse it was? Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, 5 plants, not disappointing, planted just a couple weeks ago. I shared earlier how I did not fill the whole pot because there's a nice sized pot sitting inside. That's a big tub, and they're going to start growing over the side. You won't even tell. I mean, it's making big strides just in 2 weeks. And I know I always say this, but this is the star of the show. I don't see any blooms on it yet. Vanilla strawberry standard hydrangea tree with autumn joycetum at the base. But this tree on the corner of the house is a showstopper when it blooms. It'll start here in about, I'd say the beginning of July. The buds will start to burst out. The buds will come on here pretty soon. And it'll just be non-stop for the rest of the season. Now, do you see what's in here? Look at this view. Woo! I love these little mini roses. This is Oh So Easy Mango Salsa. I call it salsa mango, but I'm sure that's backwards. I think it's mango salsa rose bushes. They stay miniature like this. And I also keep them trimmed when they get those long shoots on them so that they stay a little more miniature. But I think they get like 1.5 by 1.5. And then just picture those hydrangeas behind them in bloom, full bloom, with white blossoms against those roses. Woo-wee. I love this. I had to stop here and share my beautiful little puppy. He's actually not a puppy. He's 16 years old. He's a Chihuahua. This is Kale. Say hi, Kale. Kaylee boy. Hi. Hi, are you basking in the sun? The little bit of sun that we've had lately? He's such a good boy. My Japanese maple is doing very well. Now, this maple loves this weather. As the season goes on, the leaves will start turning green versus staying purple. It's just the variety that it is. Look, Kale just found another resting spot. I'm gonna have to trim this up a little bit. This particular variety will get quite large if I don't keep it size controlled. And it's really in a nook of the house there. And I want to keep it so that it doesn't outgrow its space. So it'll get a trim here soon. But I just need to share these up close. Look at the colors. It is breathtaking. Hi, Kale. Kale, hi. He's deaf too, so he doesn't hear me. I don't know why I keep trying to talk. Now these hydrangeas on this side of the house, these are called little hotties. Here's my front porch. Now in these front pots, I planted Supertunia, the pink cashmere. I'm happy with them, but I'm not over the moon about them, and I'm just wondering if it has to do with our weather, because I hear a lot of people tell me and tell all of us just what great growers they are and how fabulous the blooms are. And this particular variety can get real big like the Supertunias. I'm not seeing it yet, but it really could be this weather. I'm hoping that once it gets warmer, they will take off and I'll be absolutely in love with them, but I'm not quite there yet. And once again, with the weather being cool, my ferns are really struggling. But I know warmer weather's ahead of us, so I'm gonna give them time. And hopefully I have some giant ferns to share with you like I did last summer. So these are little Hottie hydrangeas, and look what I just found. Just at the start of the season. Listen to those birds. Kale saying, quit chirping. Isn't that beautiful? And look how healthy the leaves are. Once again, those are little hotties. And these are tiny quickfires. Wow, look at those buds. Let me see if I can get a good picture of them without me being in the picture. Woo! They are my earliest bloomers. And they're staying nice and small, just the way I want them under this tree. I don't want them to be too big. Look at that. They will definitely be the first ones to bloom out. I bet you in 2 weeks, I will see some white buds on there. The Heuchera is nice and healthy under the tree. And for those wondering, that's my rabbit sound machine that gives soft sound and strobing lights to keep the rabbits off those coral bells. The Heuchera. The Vista Jazzberry along the front with the white Gara doing fabulous. There are 4 jazzberries and 1 Gara in each of these pots. Look at this. I just love it. And this is the corner I always show you. I want to make sure we get pictures of this over time. What I had originally envisioned is starting to come true. See the Jazzberry and the Indigo, and then soon the Hydrangeas will bloom, and won't this be a gorgeous setting? In the front flower bed, take a look at these. These are drift roses, peach drift roses. But look at the multicolors in them. It's not just peach. The buds come out. It reminds me a lot of Oh So Easy, my Italian ice roses in the back, except these are drift shrub roses. Don't you think the coloring's very similar? The buds are smaller, but look at the coloring. Gorgeousness. This is my clematis. And take a look. Absolutely covered in buds. So my next video, I'll be showing this off for sure. Look at this. Woo! Goes almost all the way to the top of the lamp post. These are the Easy Elegance rose bushes, Calypso rose. Definitely fuss proof. I never worry about these. The knockout roses are so hard to keep bug free, and these just aren't. I can honestly say they are the easiest rose bushes I grow. Aren't they beautiful? I have 8 of them in this front flower bed. There's 3 on this side, and there's 2 back there, and then 3 on the other side of the Rose of Sharon. The Rose of Sharon they don't have any buds on them yet. It'll be a while for that. And then my irises are done. It's time to at least trim back the foliage, or at least take off the dead plumes and leave the foliage. Usually I cut the foliage down to about half and do them in a fan shape so that they are not so overtaking in the garden, and I can let my other flowers shine, and I keep enough green on them for photosynthesis for next year. But this bunch is just amazing. Once again, my Rose of Sharon and my Calypso rose on this side. I've got a few buds that are getting ready to burst open. And I know you keep hearing that sound machine in the back, but it truly works. It keeps the rabbits and deer out of my garden. So I've gotten used to the sound. And ladies and gentlemen, what I've been wanting to show you, take a look. Supertunia Mini Vista Whites in garden socks. And look how it's trailing over the edges. Gorgeousness. And this is just the beginning of June. Can you imagine what this is going to be like in July and August? And then behind that, I have the coneflowers. Now what's interesting with these coneflowers is they are doing much better on this side of the mailbox. And then when you work your way around to this side of the mailbox, they're much smaller. So I might have a lopsided backdrop with coneflowers. We'll see. And right there's my my sedum again. That's the coral jade sedum. Beautiful. Here's a view from this side. And I just have to show you this. This is what the neighbors see as they walk my sidewalks. Now, if that is that stunning at the beginning of June in Ohio 6B, can you imagine what it's going to be like with the hydrangeas blooming, the Supertunias even bigger, everything in full bloom. I can't wait to share with you. Another sidewalk view that people see as they pass the house. So you can see the house. I live on a corner and I have 3 sides of the house that are visible to neighbors. And then of course the back side around the pond. I hope you enjoyed this proven winner flower garden in Ohio 6B. If you would like to see it grow over the summer, please like and subscribe, and I'll continue to post videos.